So this little bit different kind of video. I'm trying to analyze this game and provide some insight from Stressman's perspective. And this is Stressman versus Sara. And looking at the starting specialist, I think for sure the best spec for Stressman is the supply specialist. It's very good unit combination and one of the best specialists. The speed spec and marksman spec are completely unplayable, and the cost control is okay, but I don't like to have crawlers with cost control because they are so abusable by replicate, but it's fine. For Sara, I already know what he is gonna pick. He's gonna pick the giant spec because it has Mustangs. He always picks Mustangs at the start, which is crazy to me. But looking at the other specialists, I don't think they are very good. I think actually they are completely unplayable, so the giant spec is the only choice. And the unit combination is not good in my opinion, but Sara likes it. So it's supply spec versus giant specialist. And I think Stressman has the better start here, for sure. I don't know if Stressman knows Sara's playstyle. I know it pretty well. He's always very passive and deploys behind the towers. So I think Stressman should play this aggressively if he knows how Sara plays. And buying the arc light is quite good, but I don't like the storm position at all. They can be distracted with one crawler in the middle. They both shoot it. The storm should be positioned here and here, or here and here, I think. And the better composition wins the first round. Like getting these storms versus Mustangs is very nice. The problem here is that Stressman has no anti-air and Sara is giant spec. So it's quite a tricky situation in the first 3 rounds. There can be forward overlord or stuff like that, but this is a very interesting skip. I would pick haste module here every time as Sara and build a giant. And Stressman picks the haste module and goes Mustangs. I don't like these Mustangs actually, because we already got the arc lights. It's fine to have arcs and Mustangs, but Sara already has the Mustangs. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to start matching the enemy. But here we go. And probably the primary purpose of the Mustangs was to cover the air aspect. And they also act as additional chaff units, so it's quite okay. If I were Stressman, I would probably have deployed one more Stormcaller and one more Crawler and just lose to air, see what Sara is doing. But here it's a bit more tempo play and we actually win the round because of it. This is shield drop or skip. And the shield drop is quite risky because each player has storms. But here, looking at this situation, like when I see a board like this, the tanks and crawlers are new, I believe. The other stuff is what Stressman sees in this situation. Like all of these are very exploitable. His whole army will run to the corner if you start attacking it. And Stressman has, although he's deployed far in the back, his units are here pretty fast. I would start attacking this like hard. Like you could take the shield airdrop, put the shield airdrop here, put one Vulcan here, and you have the option to fortify it more or sell it. And then as a second deployment you could I don't know, maybe sell these Mustangs and put crawlers forward and start attacking this tower and keep a defensive position here. That would be what I would do, but players have quite different play styles, and I believe I play quite differently from others, so let's see what Stressman does. So Sara does tanks, and this is quite surprising to me. Like I have seen Sara is giant spec, and he's not using giants at all. He's building a lot of small units and Mustangs, and still he's using tanks instead of like overlords or fortresses. I actually played against Sara yesterday like 5 games, and in one of those games he was aerial spec and didn't build a single air unit. This I think is a big mistake. Like if you have Arclights and Mustangs, it's fine they do the same role, or kind of the same role, and I think it's a mistake to, like for sure he's gonna upgrade these Mustangs in the future, because Mustangs need upgrades to be useful. If they don't have the range, they just run in and die, but these Arclights don't really need the range. They clear the crawlers pretty okay without any upgrades, and I think it's a mistake to invest in both. But yeah, I would attack this position for sure for this. And now we actually see the crawlers are here distracting both of the storm callers. If the storms were here, this wouldn't happen. Like Sara has a lot better position on the storms. We were trying to missile the storms, I think. No range yet. This looks quite even. I think Sara will win because of the tanks. But it's strange for me that Sara isn't using the giants. Stressman wins the round, it seems. Is it subsidized Mustang? Yeah, so both players going mass Mustangs here. And now for sure we need to take these Mustangs if we take the subsidized Mustangs card. And I'm not sure if the subsidized Mustang card is that good here. Like, do you really want to match these Mustangs? I guess it's fine to have like an even board and try to win with some other way. I don't like to be in this position though, doing like the exact same thing the opponent is doing. It's better to try to counter them early on. Like going for rhinos or vulcans or stuff like that would be my choice of attack here, and not matching the enemy Mustangs. And the sub Mustang card isn't that good here because we already had 2 Mustangs. Like the sub Mustang card cost 100, and now it's even because we deployed 2 more. But how much more Mustangs are we gonna build? 1 more, 2 more, 0 more? I don't know. So now we got a huge missile here. And everything's running in the center. This is for sure the pick for both players, yeah, not even a question with these Mustangs. They have quite the same levels on the Mustangs. Sarah has 1 more level, but both players have a level 2 Mustang to put the item on. And they are at different sides also. Here also the Sarah has committed into these anti-missile devices. And they cost a lot of money, so I think Stressman should go hard on these rounds. Like try to build a big counter to Sarah's units to get rid of the anti-missiles. It's quite valuable. Like rhinos here would be really good, I think. And Sarah already has the tanks. It's kind of strange. Usually rhinos are a bit sus against giant spec. Like late game, you can so easily recruit, for example, level 2 fortresses. If you get the rhinos going early, the giants are pretty bad against the rhinos, but late game they are pretty good. So I could see this is a strong side of Stressman. I guess Stressman doesn't know which side is the big item on. But I would fortify the strong side with everything I've got when I see these. Because if we win this side and we lose this side, the units will go from here to here and kill both these towers. So it's quite valuable. And I don't think you should build more storms when you see anti-missile devices. I think you should try to kill them first and then build more storms. So I think 2 level 2 rhinos here would be much better. Or something like a Vulcan. Now you can't go in the flanks anymore. These Mustangs have too much damage. They kill everything you try to deploy here. It's a bit hard for me to analyze a game like this because I myself play so much different than both of these players. This looks like a really weird game to me. So the anti-missiles are doing a lot of work. And this was definitely a big mistake to build more storms into the anti-missile devices. So now it's kind of a tempo game because of this item. Like whoever levels more with this crazy Mustang has a huge advantage also. The improved steel balls could be also interesting for a Stressman. Like they only cost 250. I think very good play for Stressman would be here to take the improved steel balls and recruit 2 or 3 steel balls, level 2 steel balls, and upgrade armor for them. I think it would be really good, and not put anything in front of this big guy. Like put one here, one here, one here maybe. So these 3 Mustangs doesn't do anything. And I don't like this straight away into Vulcan. I think once again you should attack one side more because of the anti-missile devices, which is this. And you should make one oil before going the Vulcans. Like you could oil from here to here, or here to here, and then go Vulcans next turn with the oil on the ground. And this Vulcan is also too much here. I think this Vulcan should be here or here, because it's running here. Also, if I remember correctly from the past rounds, that all of these guys will go into the center because of these mobile beacon tricks. So probably the correct play is to put the Vulcan here or here if you are going Vulcans this turn. If the Vulcan would have been here, I think it would have been actually stuck on the tanks. But now the Mustangs are in front of the tanks. Yes, this was okay after all. So yeah, the anti-missile devices are a problem. Like, we are losing these rounds only because we didn't commit into the anti-missiles. Like, you need to go asymmetrical when you see the devices to kill them. You just have to pick a side where you focus on. Here is another chance of the steel balls. I don't know about the parasitic ammo. It might be correct. I would have personally picked the enhancement module. Because for sure, yeah, I was gonna say for sure we want fire at some point. And fire with the parasitic ammo, it's okay still, but it's not as good, and it costs 450, so it's It's an expensive item. This is also a very strange choice to build more of these arc lights. I think we have like 3 unit types that are kinda doing this similar stuff. Vulcans, Mustangs and arc lights. Like, I don't know, if Sarah would, his giant spec, if he would start selling these tanks with the enhancement module and going into fortresses, this would be quite a scary situation for Stressman. But now we are overwhelming the anti-missile devices with the incendiary bombs. I wonder if these tanks with field maintenance will be a problem, because they for sure survive the fire. Yeah, we still can't win the round, and the anti-missiles are still on the ground. Or did it die here? Maybe it died here. Oh. So we actually killed them. That's pretty good. It's a huge win to kill these. They cost a lot. This orbital for sure for both. It's kinda hard to shield this kind of board. Like, you need so many shields, especially with Sarah. He needs to shield for the incendiary. And I think he just put this down. It's an okay play to go the incendiary with storms also, once you have killed the AMs. But here Sarah should put crawlers in the flank to bait out the incendiary. I don't think this armor on the arc lights does anything. Or actually it's okay. This is like level 4. This kills the armored ones and this kills the armored ones, but not these. So I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I think it cost 500. But yeah, this is just the arc lights are playing into the fortresses. Like, Sarah should for sure sell the tanks and go fortresses here, I think. And this arc light place will play into it. So now Sarah is losing a lot of money if the AMs die. Like, he put down, I think, like 4 shields and 4 anti-missile devices. That's like a complete round. That's so much gold. So this is looking quite nice for Stressman actually right now. Because I think Sarah failed to address this composition. Like, you need to address these Vulcans somehow. Oh, Sarah didn't go speed. Okay, so there's a factory. I think the anti-missile will intercept like one incendiary bomb, but will it intercept incendiary bomb and the storms? I don't know. And it's on his strong side where the Mustang item is. So this, I think it's looking really scary for Stressman here. Because this kind of composition is very abusable by any kind of giant. Oh, he even has 2 factories. I think the factories will win here. Oh, now there's overlords. Okay. If we go ground cannon, we might kill them. We did go ground cannon, okay. So because the anti-missile factory will intercept the normal overlord cannon, but the overlord artillery, it goes through. And we are putting them in the corner where the damage item Mustang is not. So this might go okay if all the Mustangs will die to the fire. Yeah, it's really hard for me to tell what is the optimal play here, because I would have taken this game in a very different direction. I'm not used to playing a board state like this. So the war factory is actually intercepting all fires here, but the boats are coming through here, this side. The big Mustangs are still alive. Is it enough? Sarah isn't taking the enhanced range against the fire, which is a big mistake in my opinion. And he loses the round. So this is for sure the last round, right? Round 10. Incendiary. For both players, I guess. And now Sarah doesn't have to invest in these anti-missile devices anymore because he has the factories. It's always a tricky situation where you should fire. This seems like a good fire. If I were Sarah, I would probably shield like here. So I don't know. I would have probably fired here and oiled here. This for sure I wouldn't fire because it's the first thing that will get shielded. Probably if you put a crawler here and fire this, then it would go through. Because the shield will probably be like here. Very interesting play here. And yeah, when the boards are so like there's so much room for everything, you can't shield against the fire, it's really difficult. and melters are the response against the factories. In situations like this, you should always missile in front of the factories. It's a cheap way to get rid of the crawlers and you might connect instantly. It's also quite risky to deploy the melters like this, because they take so long to kill the factory that the level 1 melters usually die when they are fired upon. So I would probably put the melter here and here and just let the Vulcan grill here, and then the melter will connect. And this is very important. Okay, now Sarah is going it also. So we managed to shield the fire. This should be leveled for sure. It's a very important level. So we connected to the war factory, but melter dies. Is here the same thing? Yeah. They were too forward. But there's so much fire because of the cards that there isn't anything against the overlords anymore. So is this a win for Stressman? It's 800 damage here. There isn't a single anti-air card alive. Yeah, this was I think a very lucky win because of the fire cards at the last round. Sarah was so spread out that it was very hard for him to shield against the fire. Do we see the board state once again? View battlefield, yeah. So I don't know if I provided much insight in this game. Hopefully I would have played it a lot differently. And usually like deployment like this is very exploitable. Like this tower is very open when you attack the flank here. Yeah, but nice to see some war factories and Vulcan action. Vulcan isn't played a lot in the metagame, or at least I don't see it often. I use it a lot with Giant Specialist, but not a lot with another specialist. Yeah, thanks for watching.